Once, there was a glorious king. From that kingdom came a crowned heir, tasked with seeking out the Genesis Pearl from the Kingdom of Darkness. The first crowned heir began her journey of seeking the pearl. But she was deceived, and the memory of her noble origins faded. She now believed that she was the queen of the Kingdom of Darkness. But take heart. A second crowned heir had already taken up the path where the first had stumbled. This is the story of your journey, of your tale to be told.
Don't be scared! My royal stand clear!
Settle down!
Midnight Phantasmagoria! Go get enhanced animal model!
The top.
Not now! Nice and spicy! Stars, playing for me. Makeup? Let me lead you a bit. Outlines your fate.
Freeze! Don't get frostbite.
Rain cutter. No, my sword.
This moment will be frozen. Dodge this.
Witness the power of Gua.
Cool it. Oh, so sorry.
No, my sword. behind schedule. The night is cold. Cold. Night. Not now. The insolent shall be punished.
Beg for mercy. More speed.
Where are you?
Impertinent fool. Be gone!
Crush! I condemn you! Winter shall eventually come.
The night is cold.
More speed.
Not now.
Add Astro. Thank you for Add Astro.
This realm is truly... If you ever have any...
Family members refuse to change their corrupt ways. Or worse, continue to cause active harm in Mondstadt. I should be the one to end them, along with the Lawrence name itself. For once, it'd be a family obligation. We meet again, you two.
Hi, Catherine! Do you have any commissions for us today?
Commissions, huh? Let me think. Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and recite a love poem on stage.
Wait, say what now?
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the audience upon finishing the poem.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. It appears that you're not interested in this commission. In that case,
Please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering up.
Hey, that's not any better.
I'm sure the mercenaries will have some interesting reactions as well.
Paimon's gotta ask. Just who exactly—
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by. Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. When did you get into it? From when she said... So it's been you this... Are you done resting up? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways. And I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sumeru's fest. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. They danced round and round, and everyone looked really happy. I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me a You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sumeru's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together. Huh? Wasn't I describing a... No! We aren't pitying you. That would only make... By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The homie Yan? Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. She was right. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a man... But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the sages are up to. Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the Samsara of the Sub-Zero? So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the... Oh! Good point. Sorry, adventurers!
More speed.
Let's continue our chat. Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate the... Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now... I've already tried that. But all the key members of the Academia, even the core of 30 Guard, it seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha. Of course, it could also be because they're wary of me. Have you already caught the sage's attention? I'm guessing not yet. But distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to the urban legends about me. In any case, I probably can't take over their minds directly. No way, that's too risky. You mean it'd be... No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students. Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own self. That's a good point. Spoken. We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terror. After all, every person in Sumeru City is one of their hostages. Nahida, you're super smart. According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academy. Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to... Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly post, then I should find someone who's already... You're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. Actually, I already have someone in mind. Setaria. Paimon remember we ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. Paimon still remembers the smug and mean... I've always liked observing all... She was born in the desert, and was hailed as their greatest... Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty... The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. Soon after, the star witnessed... The star began to waver. instead of staying beside such a... But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her...
From the sound of it, Sataria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not...
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of... She had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny her part in their schemes anymore. Right. We must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it as an opportunity to redeem herself. From my past observations, Sataria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days to do some shopping in the city. Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. That'll be our chance. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots, and have a quick chat with a few of the vendors there. This should be Sataria's favorite fortune-telling spot.
So should we ask the...
No.
talking style and...
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods, I may be able to show you the way.
Huh? Really? Nahida...
Shh! My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. Can we get a fortune reading for him?
Of course, of course. In that case... It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the Lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Health prospects. No. The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. Your life shall continue on for... many tens of thousands of years? Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination?
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever...
I admit that the orientation of today...
Is that so?
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit, perhaps they...
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls?
Yep. It belongs to a king. His father helps Sataria a lot when they start talking with him. Listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for him. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although...
That's nice. You're making a living doing...
So is your father still working?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had...
I see. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods.
No problem. Rest easy.
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant.
Nahida, you've...
It's my duty to protect Sumeru's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh? Sorry, I don't...
If I recall, you were having a discussion...
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor, but I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and perform.
What an admirable spirit for learning! Amazing!
Sure, but you'll find hardworking people wherever you go.
So this restaurant has a basement as well?
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private events.
I see. Yes, that makes sense.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia as an official student.
So, was that everybody?
Mm-hmm. 3 familiar faces should be enough for...
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told us how...
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibilities. I remember you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormuz are all making a fuss about the although it's all just a boatload of nonsense. The faith of her...
Oh, Paimon gets it now! You wanted to... Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's...
Well, King Deshret is long gone. And Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of King Deshret's believer, but if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her...
So, you mean you're going to...
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply they've already converted to the faith of King Deshret, and then, as long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure. She'll never guess that we had anything to do with...
So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh? Best of luck? But we don't know how to possess anyone.
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if you've possessed them yourself.
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does he have to do this? Can't you do it yourself?
Although I've been observing humans for a while,
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious when...
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things are now, I probably should just accept it and push on.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be borrowing them for a little while anyway.
Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow afternoon.
More speed.
Here she comes. Satori's. Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, as for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say.
I'm starting to feel kind of nervous. Okay, let's go. Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and... are you still...
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right? I heard everything you said.
Okay then. You just seemed a little distracted for a moment there. Strange. Your cats seem pretty I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they? Harut and Marut.
So, which fortune do you want me to read for?
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work?
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods will reveal the truth. The gods are asking, Setaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know?
Setaria, why don't you just go home?
I'm sorry. And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, King Deshret.
King Deshret? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Even though news of King Deshret's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can King...
What insolence! I am King Deshret's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry, I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa! She just ran off in her...
Well done. Setaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems...
All I know are some abstract Harabatop theories. And in any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be other... Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry and...
Got a camp now, right on cue. Let's get ready.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of... Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I... Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I've been thinking a lot about him. Actually, while we're talking about him...
Yeah, he's been retired there.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Let him know that recently, Faith in King... He has a quick temper, and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to...
Oh? So, who are you siding with? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to be...
Akeem, you don't mean...
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still
can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this!
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to care of it.
Come on! Sataria's already started talking!
So, Shishan, like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something? Wait, did you just say attic?
Well, the rest... Oh, right. I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival.
Wait, how could you be aware of that?
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly...
Shishan, don't...
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed?
Please, please stop!
Even now, Sataria's still trying to run from her...
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards! Which...
This is the most important part of all...
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct?
Please, try to remain calm.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you
King Deshret! Many people I know have suddenly started believing...
Miss Sataria.
You know my name?
King Deshret is immortal. And all... You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and child of King Deshret. Never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the Sage's plans, and from ignoring... But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really...
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just...
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the... If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve...
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know about the Sage's current activities?
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zerus festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those confidential documents. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified requirements. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city.
To fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work.
Is there a way for us to get access to the confidential documents you mentioned?
Risks. After all, I'm an assistant. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. Let me see... let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up the document.
The Academia entrance.
Don't worry about that. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny.
Alright, I trust.
So,
that'll depend on the judge.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. Maybe it's time for me to find a god to...
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Sataria. The Traveler's execution was ingenious. He's the one who deserves all the praise. Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go off without a hitch.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of the scholars?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always... That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine.
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need...
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out that if something were to happen, my existence may be... After all, the Academia should still...
Yep, exactly! Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just make sure to be on our guard. Off? What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night. Of course it...
No, I think he's right. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not sure if this is the case.
Huh. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Sataria figured...
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But now...
Well, regardless, as long as you're here with us... There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the Academia, and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards. hour of the night.
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
Oh no, what should we do? These are all just regular people. Leave now. You need to get out of here.
But that guy's a Fatui Harbinger! We can't just leave you here!
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru! Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the God of Wisdom.
This should be far enough. Is the Hida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger here. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him, and that even the sages are wary of him. Yep. Sounds like she must have been talking about... Yeah. Now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer... But what are the Fatui after this time? Yeah. Things what Nahida said. We'll meet again outside of the city. You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by this... Even though he turned it down at the time. There's no time to lose. Let's...
More speed.
Hold it right there. A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you all right. Take a look around. You've fallen right into our trap.
Are you mercenaries from the Corps of 30?
Core of 30? We're nothing like those government lapdogs who don't even get scraps for their work. We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of Sumeru. We're here on the orders of a client known only as the Outcast.
The Outcast? But why wouldn't the doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting time.
You're up.
Following orders.
Stop!
Teamwork you can that! Flood of frost! Rack and ruin!
New punch.
Don't be scared.
Where do you think you're
Beg for mercy! Eye for an eye! More speed!
My guiding stars! Move!
Crush!
It isn't over yet! Here comes reinforcements!
Vengeance will be mine! I condemn you!
No more tricks up your sleeve!
Shudder!
You want this one?
My guiding star! That was pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenaries are like? Yeah, looks like we'll have to keep our guard. But this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough opponent. Going up against smart people is...
Time to scout.
Oh, it's the Traveler and Paimon. What are you two doing back here? Hole! It's nice to To be honest, I'm not doing too well. My Elazar has been progressing at a faster rate lately. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule. He will only allow me to stay here and coordinate other... Oh, Kale! Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on patrol? We're here to talk to him. Oh, Master Tainari? He left? What? Isn't Tainari always saying that he never wants to leave the Avidia Forest? I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a... No, I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. To leave in such a hurry? I'd guess he had something urgent to take care of. Master Tainari originally studied in the Immorta Darshan of the Academia. And Partis Di is something like the Immorta's research. I know that before he became a Forest Watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time conducting research at Partis Di. A research base, huh? Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Partis Di. Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm used to living with Ella. Got it. Will do. okay. We were so worried about you. Hey, this was supposed to be a touching reunion, but you're...
Actually, it's very smart of the Traveler to be wary of me right now. Plus, it's not like you could have known what... Even a pool of stagnant water after a...
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with...
Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your...
Well, we understand that point now. Please, Nahida, tell us...
When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, instead, he did something closer to creating... Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and...
What a relief. The doctor's...
I wouldn't be real... I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds, which means we've lost another one of our trump cards. Also, the doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals.
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then, how do we stop him? He's still at the academia, so it's possible he already started... Ugh. It feels like he's Plus, the doctor's combat ability alone is apparent...
We shouldn't give up hope just yet.
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we...
Yes, I have. I can see the Traveler's element. You didn't come here for sightseeing, right? Okay, let's...
More speed. Traveler?
It's Hypatia!
Ah, what a pleasant surprise! It's...
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still...
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Wait, no. Did you already finish?
What do you think? My consciousness has already managed to make contact.
You did it? Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime joy with others at long last. When my consciousness made contact with the gods. Ah, what a supreme and unparalleled...
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw. My current self has not only gained true insight...
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that, but...
Hold on. I brought some spirit borneal with me.
We're using that incense again?
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help you establish a pathway to connect...
Okay.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, They can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounce the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
What was that? Did we actually just see the Balladier's memories? But how is he connected to the divine consciousness that Hypatia was talking about?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic god! Such a noble... Alas, if only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal...
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no periporno life, but rather...
You! Why have I found divine wisdom? Shouldn't I receive praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light in the darkness?
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought everything should be. Wait, have I already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right.
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she... After that, Kainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? You mean your conscious... Wait, then where is Nahida's consciousness? Where is she now?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Also, while we were running, the doctor has found a way to trap my conscience. But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusion.
Oh no! Nahida's trapped in the sanctuary of Surasthana for good this time. Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything, even in a moonless night. Huh. Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from the alchemical divination at the Sumeru's festival. Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh,
a lot of sense. But she isn't with us
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana, correct? Does this mean that this Nahida you're talking about, the consciousness who was occupied...
Your guess is correct.
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archons all...
Thank you, Tighnari. Oh, actually, we came here to...
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited to join that project, all I know is that the project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in the... What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went mad. It's because she made contact with the consciousness of a new god who is still in the process of being born.
Tighnari, did you leave?
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, I secretly took her to Pardis Dia. If I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert, doomed to a life of exile at Aru village. Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never thought but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the right decision by not the Doctor and the Balladeer. We have 2 Fatui Harbingers in Sumeru. Sounds like... From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. There may still be room for... But then... What is the connection between creating a new god and restoring Irminsul?
Yeah. It feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the Sage's goals. Right.
I'll stay here for now. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Ribat. That'll be your fastest route. Come find me here if there's...
Thanks, Tighnari.
More speed.
We finally made it to Caravan Ribat. It's pretty lively here. So, just past this wall is the desert, huh? Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this...
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Ethan went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
What the... Where did he go? How did we lose them? They were just here a second ago.
More Eremite mercenaries? How are they working for this
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed at the Academia.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. I never thought last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon that you're here to take us.
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests by now?
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormo, which brings me back to you. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all in sharing what you've been hiding from me?
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind...
So that's your answer. Well, I do, but that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the Divine Knowledge. No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own.
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't really...
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources.
It's always better to...
Before us lies Aru Village. This...
Whoa. This landscape is...
Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before.
Alhaitham, do not think you can escape my judgment just because you managed to escape my attack.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra, as well you know.
Seemed to me more like your own personal touch.
Who is that, Alhaitham? Did you call him General Mahamatra?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable...
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Alhaitham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out of his mouth. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise...
Has Alhaitham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Alhaitham, I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes Amatra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to...
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two?
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone... You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these two are gonna start...
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day, that's for sure. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules, but how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your... Hey, did either of you hear a word I just said?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so...
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take cover!
Someone's calling for us!
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you Academia folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop.
Well, this is pretty awkward. Hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? Sounds fun. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru Village.
Our savior has come at last! Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for helping us.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, we should return to the topic at hand. As a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar, even before the sandstorm started. And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no threat whatsoever. So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another, and put your hostile feelings to rest. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sands.
Oh! On second thought, Paimon?
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start talking.
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen to exile myself.
Huh? Exile yourself?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly did not match the project's actual progress. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person responsible for the erroneous data was none other than Grand Sage Azar himself. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request, but I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully concealed from me. I began to realize that, unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. He even said to me, "The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to judge us."
So they really are up to no good.
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, I believed it would be wise to flee the Academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority. Once I find the truth, I will administer judgment by my own name.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary. Well, Sino, if that's your story, then what?
When I was investigating the matter in the Academia, I overheard a conversation between Al-Haytham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Al-Haytham?
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Caps.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the Traveler.
Al-Haytham!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment...
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information, namely that divine knowledge. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the Academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the Academia. Also, you should remember, you were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebot to...
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth any. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no... After all,
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham, that curiosity can... Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the academia. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy, for now.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must... My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru Village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that...
That's more like it. I missed you all.
Whoa! What was that?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of the...
Creatures?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry.
The winds died down. That means the sands... Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she...
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little...
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of...
Here comes an...
Leave this round to us. I got...
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane in action. I'll leave these...
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Fake for mercy. Rack and ruin.
Here comes another wave. When are they ever gonna let up?
Crush. Eye for an eye.
The creature stopped appearing.
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the village's elderly and children. I am the chief of Aru Village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert.
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent. Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally...
Another effect. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest.
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's present state.
Everyone in Aru Village needs to... speaking of which, why haven't I seen a...
Village Keeper? Who are they?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to mad scholars, exiled here by the Academia. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avid. The Academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, They're forcibly exiled to the
Alas, that's exactly what... But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next...
I've had encounters with those people in the past.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them?
Mock me if you will. But if you are guilty, I will eliminate you. Regardless of my position.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in...
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. Let's start by finding a spot to share what...
More speed. More speed.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the... Do you still have any questions for me before we start our One of my former subordinates told me that this type... The Academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as... Initially, the people of Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright. After that, the
soft green light? A mad scholar Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars could...
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the Academia could...
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they calmed down...
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story... So, what do you make of the story? Really?
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha to give her power.
No, it's not so much that Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... How should Paimon put it? She's a...
I've spent many years interrogating criminals.
Good! Then you shouldn't have...
That look in your eyes. How can this be? To think. Our Archon...
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use, but easier said than done. Especially since we don't have any leads.
Excuse me, are you here to...
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak. You'll help me find my grandpa, right?
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to call him that?
It's not like he's a bad person or anything.
The person you're referring to is not a local. Yet you are.
Grandpa is just Grandpa. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you. I want to find my
I was planning to go out and take...
Whoa. Hatham wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's...
Sorry, I was only listening.
All right. But first, let's...
Sino is super vigilant.
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of Isak?
I had a feeling he'd go look.
Huh? You knew that?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping outside. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. He was raised by his grandfather. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa... Later, an elderly... However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance, and one summer night, so Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught them. The next morning, Isak woke... It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world, almost as if he were sleepwalking. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him.
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad. It seems like they both did.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. But it's also my reason for fighting. I must continue to protect this land.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over them.
Huh? What did you say, Sino?
No, nothing. As long...
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for. Please accept my thanks on Isak's...
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys!
We've cleared everything up! Let's go find your grandpa!
Really? Yeah!
Alright.
Excuse me, did you happen to see where the missing scholars went?
You mean the village keepers? Oh, let me think. When I was eating dinner...
Okay. Did you notice anything else?
Anything else?
Shut up!
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you...
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so but honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
Do you also think Grandpa and the others are good people?
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man who looks like your grandpa's... He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone... Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Sir?
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, your grandpa, huh? It's been a while. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I'd...
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking care of him.
It was nothing. You're looking for him, right? Did he go for a walk and get lost?
Yeah.
That's no good. Well, once you found him, come by my place again and I'll cook a little something for the both of you. I've known you since you were very young, so as far as I'm concerned, you're family. Please feel free to come by anytime.
Wow, what? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Huh? Don't say anything for now. Let's head over there.
More speed.
Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty King Deshret, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. King Deshret is the one and only true ruler of this land. I've never believed in any other gods. Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like...
Haven't you noticed? The village as Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of King Deshret's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity and King Deshret. Isn't it a sign of King Deshret's power that all the mad scholars...
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does this mean our lives are finally...
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Huh?
Who are you?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah! Bro, this guy's something else.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no match for this guy.
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about King Deshret's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear and that King Deshret will return to this land. I'm not making this up. I swear.
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars and won't let us have a good life. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for King Deshret's speedy return. Delavar also said that once King Deshret returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under King Deshret and fight for a share of the glory.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more. Keep talking.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is also guilty.
The people here really like King Deshret, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Where is this radical person you talked about?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village. What about you, man? Have you seen him at all?
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you. He's really not here.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we know are their names.
I have many ways to stop you from talking, so you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact anybody. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be—
Yes, got it. We'll do just as you—
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that.
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places. Very well.
Isak!
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there. Just follow me.
Join the Airlights and embrace a wonderful new life.
Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa. This is where Grandpa usually stays.
There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please don't say it, but are you okay? Are you getting dizzy?
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day. And then he gave us a long lecture.
So, you know Tainari?
Huh? You know him too?
Yes. Now that I concentrate.
Wait, surely Tainari didn't lecture you?
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house? In the forest. From a skull.
More speed. More speed.
What are you looking for, Sino?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon doesn't see anything.
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, from the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one from this area. Local shoes. This was probably someone from the village. The scent is quite faint, but still extant. The footprints head in that direction.
But who would come looking for Grandpa? He doesn't have any friends.
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent? Hey!
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their minds and discover new knowledge. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days, and will follow the scent whenever it presents itself.
No, Grandpa.
So, someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, why would anyone want to abduct all the scholars? Are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars have something to do with the radicals?
It's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa's
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We won't let whoever took him get away with it.
Let's head to Aru Village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here.
More speed. More speed. Time to scout.
Right. The darker fabric.
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to...
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Oh, Dia's here too!
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you. I guess he must have...
Did you find out anything useful? I see. So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
The resurrection of King Deshret? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the academia and search for leads there?
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these radicals he mentioned.
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Engur, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. The whole lot of them are known around these parts. These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in King Deshret. The way they see it, King Deshret's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the academia. Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's my guess why they've chosen to become radicals.
Tia! You're amazing! You really know this place.
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every mora I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right here, Sino. Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on making connections out here. Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that also makes it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust. I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult if you're with me.
Fine.
Good. Then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out...
Alright! Sounds like a plan!
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel.
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was... Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms? It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. It serves a more important purpose, keeping out people like us. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded at their whim. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing more. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The academia believes we're underserving. Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. Even though the academia knows very well that we're humans, just as they are.
That's terrible!
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey,
No, not at all. This place just... Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta catch those...
Shh. Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. We don't want anyone to find out what we're here for. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know.
More speed.
Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean, you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land? Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than the...
Yeah. Have you seen any...
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just a few days ago.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar...
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days. So, you came here to help him out?
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together? Besides...
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him. Come with me.
Are we there yet?
Yep.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in the dark.
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there. Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the Academia to look for the missing scholars.
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. I knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake!
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't ya?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds than you think. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If
If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samio would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Enger, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of King Deshret despise the most.
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand why...
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors. Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Following orders.
Not now.
Take that!
Let's light it up! Crush!
I condemn you!
I'll take
More speed.
Take that!
Shudder!
The night is cold.
I'll take Impossible! How could you?
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course, you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one. That so-called flame mate. That's what you thought, right?
Ugh. You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, scar-riddled bandit, Paimon can't remember them all.
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Enger and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Enger, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up. Alcohol has a way of making...
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right?
Wait, so he's a...
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impressions.
Wow, what a genius idea! Well, that's an expert mercenary for you.
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really true?
Hmm? About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyone.
I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in King Deshret, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the Academia's trickery.
But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village. This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is...
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots...
Hey, Dia!
Right on time. We'll know.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial...
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to...
Well, Paimon thinks you're great, too.
Really? Thanks for that.
Oh, Cyno's here, and he's pretty early, too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh! You mean you taught Candace some more...
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Candace, where... Whoa, you look furious.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am. Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me.
Mercy! Please, have mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may all be desert dwellers, but there's one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of King... The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have, and that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry! I'll tell you everything I know, please. Just let us go.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about King. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in King Deshret's resurrection.
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread the word about King Deshret's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was all him.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that that guy,
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu? What do you mean?
Okay.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the Academia. Some time ago, people from the Academia attempted to take the Village Keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the Academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the Radicals into delivering the Village Keepers right into the... They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
Not the Academia again.
Just as I thought, but what could they want with the Village Keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the Academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless,
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the Radicals. Leave everything outside the village.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready. Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages! And now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Where have you been anyway? Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly... there's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. Anyway, you plan to...
Yep. We're not gonna find out. Enough with the silent...
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up.
Alhaitham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village.
Yeah, you're all...
While you were investigating, I had my own...
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we aren't really a team. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But, before that...
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single...
You mean, some of the...
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate... Remember what Gandis said? Most people... By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the...
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the radicals' next target.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then, why would she lie?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on that. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Huh? What do you mean?
Go ahead and talk to her. you'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that only one side of my family is... Some believe it...
Speaking of which...
Yeah. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people, and then it happened.
You can tell them.
All right. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Perhaps. I'm not sure. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often. And when it does, it's much quieter.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, but because we're in the middle of a desert, you would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts.
There's really nothing around these parts.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar.
Yeah!
What do we have here?
Wow. Is this the place? It's a terrible place. And there's sand everywhere.
You've forgotten. An ideal place to hide people.
More speed.
Monsters! Watch out!
Shut it! Vengeance will be mine. I condemn you. The odds are against
We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a look. Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then... I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read? What are you reading? Let Paimon see!
Okay, sure.
The natural position.
So...
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya! How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey! Paimon's your Teyvat travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful... And anyway, is that Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated? Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's no way we can get down there.
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one. Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
I'll lead the way.
luck doesn't discriminate by clan.
The night is cold.
Beg for mercy. More speed. More speed. Eye for an eye. Crush. Shut up! Blood of frost! I condemn you! I can put these to good use. More speed. More speed. Beg for mercy. More speed. At least good luck doesn't discriminate.
My guiding stars.
My royal rack and ruin. More speed. What do we have here? More speed. speed.
Not now.
Scorching hot days, freezing cold nights. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
My guiding stars!
Oh, shut up!
Keep up. I'll uproot you! Trap!
By royal decree! Gotcha!
Shadow Raven!
Eyes on me!
I summon you! On, reveal thyself!
No rest for the wicked. As you wish, maiden.
Quiet!
Look! Good idea. Let's approach him slowly.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. Also, why is he the only one here?
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the Academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind of...
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satya. Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with people?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught. The symptoms are identical.
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall, don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The Academe, it isn't difficult to deduce their rationale.
First, the Academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret's resurrection.
These rumors were all the persuasion that the Radicals needed, and those based in Aru Village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the Academia. As well as being able to exploit the Radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the Academia.
All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto King Deshret's followers. Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since King Deshret's death all those years ago.
Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises.
Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of King Deshret
and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that. The notion of an Academia plot wouldn't even—
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too. But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the Academia that brought the scholars to Aru Village in the first place? Why does it want them back now?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible. Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Hyman doesn't want...
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. However, the Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge. But what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the content.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge. But I'm not extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects. If this is the direction of academic...
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, this matter needs to be corrected. Just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait,
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little... There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest...
Probably not.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. The Divine Knowledge Capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean...
Hyman's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia.
Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to...
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it than that. He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our next step.